There's also a really special haul that you will see. You guys, I really want to get to this book in February. I want to chat in the comments about all of these books. I'm seeing people do like their rereads and I'm like, hold on, I haven't even done my reading yet, like my first reading. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ellie if you've never been here before, and on this channel I upload whatever I want. Today I'm going to be doing a combo kind of video. I'm going to be doing my January wrap up and my February TBR in one video. I've never done either of those types of videos before on my channel. I have never done a wrap up video, and I've also never done a TBR type video where I pick my monthly reads or even announce my monthly reads, but they are the types of videos that I love watching, so I would love to create them myself. But I don't really want to commit to two separate videos, like a wrap up video and a TBR video, for a few different reasons. I just feel like that's another video to fit into the month that I might not already have space for because of other uploads that I want to put out. But the other reason is specifically for monthly TBRs. I am doing my Tackling the TBR series, so I don't know what my TBR will be for the month until I pull it video by video live in a way in that video. So I don't really think that there will be enough books that I know prior to that series or filming videos for that series to make a whole video out of, but I still want to talk about them because I'm excited about them, and I think especially this month, some of my reads are going to be exciting for people watching. So let's just go ahead and get right into my January wrap up. I read, I would say 5.5 books in January. I'm just going to mention the 5. The 6th book that I'm currently reading, I will finish in February, and so you will see that in my February wrap up. But the first book that I read this month was 24 Hours in Italy by Romy Mundi. It feels like I read this so long ago, and if you watched my Tackling the TBR episode that included this book, I pulled it in November. So the fact that I didn't finish it until January is kind of insane and embarrassing almost, but I did finish it. I believe I rated this, I can't even remember. What kind of wrap up doesn't have ratings? Like, I should have been more prepared, but I rated this 3 stars. I enjoyed it more than I disliked it, but there was just a lot going on that just kind of cringed me out, and unfortunately cringe does affect my rating. But one aspect of this that I really did like was the setting. I, for some reason, have just enjoyed books set in Italy, so I'm interested to see what other books I can find out there that are set in Italy. I've read One Italian Summer, and I think I've read another book that's set in Italy, and I just really liked it. Oh, I think it was Love and Gelato. I didn't really like that book, but I did love the setting, so that's something that I'm interested to keep exploring. But yeah, another thing that I guess I could mention is I really liked the way that Jake treated Mira. He just really let her be her true self around him, and he laughed at all her jokes, and I thought that was very cute. But that was the first book. The next book I read in the month of January was The Secret Life of Bees by Sue Monk Kidd. I actually really loved this book, and I feel like it came at the perfect time. I was a little nervous when I pulled it out of my Jellycat bag, but I'm so glad that the series forced me to finally read this and not just keep softy and effing it, because it was a 5-star read for me. I still haven't watched the movie because I just feel like it's gonna just hit. Maybe I'll do that this weekend, but I really loved this. If you have never read The Secret Life of Bees, I highly recommend, especially if you are a literary fiction girly, pick this up. Like, the writing is so good. This is just my cup of tea in writing style, so I really liked this book. And because of this book, I was really interested in looking at finding some more Sue Monk Kidd, or just trying to, like, I don't know, I guess maybe read her backlist or read anything else that she has put out. And in the back of this book, it does have another book that she has out called The Mermaid Chair, and I was like, oh, like, I don't know if I'm really interested, but I know she has other books out there. But I went thrifting the other day, and one of the thrift stores that I went to was having 5 books for $1. And if you know me, that kind of sale used to get me, and that is how I am in this place that I'm at. I've dug myself a hole to where I have a bunch of books on my physical TBR that I don't want to read. But my husband has been kind of getting into reading, and he picked out some books, I picked out some books. I think I only picked out one. I did only pick out one book, and that book is The Mermaid Chair by Sue Monk Kidd, and it's in a really good condition. And so I'm excited to have these on my shelf together one day. Hopefully I love The Mermaid Chair. I don't think I'll be reading this month, but I did want to show it off because I don't know when else I will. There's also a really special haul that you will see later. I'm so excited to show you guys, but why not just mention a few hauls that I got, because I don't really know when I will actually show you guys. But this is going on the TBR cart. These are books that like I have hauled since my Tackling the TBR series started. So they're books that I will be pulling from for like the Buzzword Reading Challenge, or just I want to read a book off of there, because these are actually books that I really want to get to. And so it's really nice to see it kind of fill up with books that I actually want to read and have been wanting to read for a while, and not just bought because it was 20 cents. But this was 20 cents, but it doesn't count as those other ones. The next book I read was Never Lie by Frida McFadden. I actually listened to this on audiobook, and I loved it. I rated it 4 stars. There was just a little bit about it that knocked down my rating. I kind of felt like there was just something missing, but the plot twist really got me. It got me good, and I was shocked. I read that book in my 24-hour reading challenge video, and I got my raw reaction to the plot twist. A Frida McFadden plot twist. I've only read one book by her, but it goes nuts. Okay, that was nuts. And also because of this book, because of Never Lie, I am interested in a totally different book to read in February, so you will see that when I talk about my February TBR. The next book I finished in January was All Good People Here by Ashley Flowers. I rated that book a 5-star. I was kind of struggling between a 4.5 and a 5, but I just really could not stop thinking about that book. Like, I've still been thinking about it. We have book club tomorrow, finally, because it's been over a week since I finished that book, and I want to talk about it with literally anybody. Like, I need to talk about it, so I'm so excited. We have our first book club gathering tomorrow, the day that you're watching this, and I'm so excited to talk about what happened with other people, because I mean, this isn't really a super popular book, so it's not like I can just like watch reading vlogs and stuff on it. I mean, I could probably find one out there, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. But I really loved that book. I loved the like dual timeline of it all, and just how it all just connected. Like, it was just so good. The ending, I'm not going to spoil anything, but the ending is really what I want to talk about with other people, and I'll leave it at that. The last book I finished in January was Killjoy, which was the prequel novella to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series by Holly Jackson. I rated that book 4 stars. I listened to the audiobook and I finished it all in a day. It was very short. I enjoyed it as a fan of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but I think outside of that, it was just kind of, you know, which I kind of feel like novellas are a little bit fan servicey, you know? They're not really put out, I mean, this might be my opinion and it might be a brutal opinion, but I kind of feel like novellas aren't really put out as like a work of art for everyone to enjoy. I think they're really put out for the fans of the series as a whole. So I will say, from that perspective, from the perspective of someone who loved A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, all 3 books, I enjoyed Killjoy. But outside of the series, I just don't think it's worth picking up, you know? But I did like seeing kind of Pip's mind in action, but in a not so serious way. It was very interesting. So those are the 5 books that I finished in January. I'm really hoping I can read even more in February. Honestly, I'm in a book slump right now, So I'm hoping that I can just finish this book that I'm currently reading and just move on to bigger and better things. But it's not that the book I'm currently reading is a DNF. It's very good. It's just not the same vibe. And so it's kind of taking me a lot longer than I thought it would to read, but I digress. Let's talk about my February TBR because this is so exciting and I don't even know where to begin. I think I'm gonna start with my other most recent haul. You guys, I really want to get to this book in February so badly. Also, let me just say this now. I meant to say it earlier, but if you have read any of these books that I read this month or that I'm going to read in February, please comment down below. Like, let me know what you thought, what you rated it, or even if you haven't read any of these books, but they're on your physical TBR or just on your mind about wanting to read, also let me know. I want to chat in the comments about all of these books, literally all of them. Let's get into the next book because I'm so excited. Fourth Wing. I picked up Fourth Wing. With Onyx Storm coming out, I have been having major FOMO. Major FOMO. And I'm really not the type of person to let FOMO get to me. I actually strive to not let FOMO get to me. I do not want to be chasing trends and doing things because everyone else is, but this is not the case with this book. I read somewhere that fans of Divergent love Fourth Wing. The Divergent to Fourth Wing pipeline. If you know me, you know Divergent was my thing and will always forever be my thing. I don't know if I'll ever reread the series because I'm really nervous that it won't hold up. Tristan 4 means so much to me. Tobias means so much to me. Divergent is just my thing, okay? Divergent is my thing. It was a very special moment. My school was having a book fair and my mom took me, and it was just me and her on a little mother-daughter date to the book fair, and she let me pick out one book, and I picked up Divergent and I ate it up. And I haven't been the same since. And the other day we were shopping at Target and my mom said to pick out a item under $50, and I said, I know exactly what I'm getting. I immediately went to the book section and picked up Fourth Wing. They had the paperback there, and I'm a paperback girly. I love the look of them and the aesthetic of them, but they are also just so much more easy and comfortable to hold. And I am not really a digital reader. I don't have a Kindle. If I read digitally, I do read on my iPad because I do have the Kindle app and the Libby app. But I just prefer reading physical books at this point in my life. I'm not opposed to getting a Kindle, actually. I was at first, but I'm not anymore. Anyways, I keep getting off topic. As a paperback girly, I almost grabbed the paperback. But then I was like, what if I really enjoy it and I want to pick up Iron Flame and Onyx Storm immediately and they don't have paperbacks yet? So I'm sticking with hardcover for this series and I want to read it immediately. I'm hoping I can read it in February. My birthday is in March, so I'm like, maybe a present to myself could be buying Iron Flame. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Should I read this in February, even though I have a million other books that I need to be reading to finish my Tapping TBR series, which I'm already behind on? Let me know. But anyways, this is definitely, I think this is definitely on my February TBR though. When I brought up Never Lie, I mentioned that I have another book that I want to read this month because of that book. That book is actually going to be on audio as well. I personally just really like listening to thrillers rather than reading them. I'm not opposed to reading them, but whenever I need an audiobook, I almost always find a thriller. I just feel like it's so much easier to hold my attention while I'm doing other things. So I was watching a vlog from Hal Jones, which I will link her channel up here. I love her content, but she put out a video, and in that video she talked about how she just finished Never Lie and how it reminded her of one of her other favorite thrillers, which was Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. I have never read an Alice Feeney book before, but I really liked Never Lie, so I'm interested to see how I feel about Rock, Paper, Scissors. I did already borrow the audiobook. I haven't started it, but I'm hoping that that will be one of my first audiobooks of February. I'm really excited to be introduced to the world of Alice Feeney. I know Sarah Caroli is a big fan of Alice Feeney, so I'm excited to see, because I think me and Sarah Caroli have very similar reading tastes. Okay guys, I have 2 more books on my February TBR so far, not counting any of the books that I will pull from my TBR series. But these next 2 books are books that I will be reading because of the Buzzword Reading Challenge. So the title word for the Buzzword Reading Challenge is a water word. And for that prompt, I'm going to be reading Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. This is also a book that is not in my Tackling TBR series. It's a newer purchase for me, so I'm really excited to read this. I have read one Carly Fortune book before. I read Every Summer After back in August, and I really liked Carly Fortune's writing, and I loved majority of the book. There is one trope in that book that I didn't like, and so it did knock down my rating a little bit. And I'm nervous because this book does have a character who is hiding something, apparently. And if it's the same thing, I'm going to riot. I'm gonna riot, actually. But anyways, this is a Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, but I got it on Pango Books. I love Pango Books. If you want to sponsor me, Pango Books, I'm all ears. Anyways, I'm really excited to read another Carly Fortune book, and I feel like a lot of people save like certain books for summer, certain books for winter, you know, which I'm kind of like that too. But right now it has been so cold, but we haven't had a full winter. We haven't had a dumping of snow. And because of that, I'm just like, let's skip it then. Let's move on to spring and summer. And so I'm kind of in a spring summer mood. So I'm actually really excited to pick this up in February because I feel like I will be escaping. I'll be getting a glimpse of summer. So hopefully this is good. The cover prompt for the Buzzword Reading Challenge for February is a skyline. And I looked up the definition of a skyline, and there's 2, okay? There's like a city skyline, and there is also just like where the land meets the sky, kind of like a horizon type moment, okay? So at first I was gonna pick Meet Me at the Lake again, because there is like a land mass here, and there's water and sky. But my husband Ryan thinks that that's cheating. So I did go into my physical TBR, which this book is in the Tackling the TBR series. So I might just, instead of pulling a random title, I will choose this book for it. But that book is Darius the Great Is Not Okay by Adib Khorram. I've owned this book for quite some time now, honestly. I don't know if you guys remember or if you even knew about this, but a few years ago, I don't know if they still even do this, maybe they do, but a few years ago Kellogg was doing some type of like promotion, I guess, where if you bought a box of their cereal, you could get a free book shipped to your house. And my husband and I just so happened to buy 2 boxes of cereal that I guess were like under the same Kellogg's brand name, and it wasn't even like an enter to win a book situation. It was like you bought a box of cereal, you get a free book. So I, for each box of cereal, uploaded my receipt online, and then they let me pick like a age range, and I picked like the young adult range, and they sent me 2 books, and this is one of them. This is Darius the Great Is Not Okay. I honestly don't even know exactly what it's about, if I'm being very honest, but I do know that Hannah from A Clockwork Reader loves this book, and that's really the only person that I have ever heard talk about this. But this is also this author's debut novel, so I think that's really cool. But I think essentially it's just like about a young Persian boy who kind of feels not fully Persian because he hasn't really been like, I think, immersed in his culture, but he's gonna take like his first trip to Iran, and he meets another boy next door, and they become friends, and his friend is kind of takes him under his wing, and he learns more about his culture. I think that is the very like basic description. But there are 2 quotes. There's one from the New York Times and BuzzFeed. but BuzzFeed blurbed it and said, an incredible story of friendship, family, and identity that you absolutely won't regret reading. So I did pick this because I think this is more of a city skyline here, and this is what it looks like on the back. But if I don't get to this in February, I think Meet Me at the Lake is sufficient enough for that prompt. But it would be cool to just actually like be sure that I did meet the prompt. But anyways, guys, that is all the books that I read in January and that I'm planning on reading for sure in February. Like I just mentioned not too long ago, if you have read any of these books or if you are planning on reading any of these books, please comment down below. I think whenever I do read Fourth Wing, I will do a full reading vlog, full spoiler review. Because it's been out for a while and I think the people that want to read it have read it or they're going to, like me, I don't know. But I'm gonna hop on the bandwagon. I try not to be that person, but I really do think that I'm gonna enjoy it. So I'm seeing people do like their rereads and I'm like, hold on, I haven't even done my reading yet, like my first reading. So yeah, obviously I'm so excited. I'm in a book slump now, but even just talking about these books has gotten me more excited to read. So it is the weekend. I'm filming this on a Friday and I'm hoping that I use my time wisely and that I can just find so many more reads that I love this month as well. So if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you like me and want to see more of my content, then subscribe. I'd love to have you here. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.